Live from our studios at One Television Plaza, this is WTAP News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Phyllis Smith. We have new information tonight at 6 about that officer-involved shooting in Pleasants County earlier this month. The man that was shot by Wood County Sheriff's deputies following a standoff in Waverly has been released from the hospital and placed under arrest. According to Wood County Sheriff Rick Woodyard, Franklin James Phillips was medically cleared and released from the hospital yesterday. Franklin was then arrested and arraigned in front of Wood County Magistrate Jody Perkey. Franklin was given a $2,500 surety bond for a 2005 worthless check charge and a 2014 obstruction and a disorderly conduct charge. Franklin was also given a $75,000 cash bond stemming from the incident on June 7th on Waverly Street in Waverly, West Virginia. He is charged with making terroristic acts for that. Franklin was also served a domestic violence protection order stemming from a request of a family member. The West Virginia State Police investigation into the deputies' actions in the shooting is continuing. Phillips is being held in the North Central Regional Jail. Turning to the weather now, 84 and sunny. Meteorologist Kirk Greenfield joins us now with the first look at your forecast. Kirk.
I know it seems hard to have such warmth when we had such mugginess just yesterday that fueled the storms, but the sky is blue as we take a look at the Jan Dills Marietta Skycam atop the Lafayette Hotel. You're right. 84, 44% relative humidity. The winds out of the north-northwest barely 5 miles per hour, and the barometer 29.93 inches and falling. Well, as we get into the sunset hour, we'll drop into the 70s. It does look like we'll still be sunny and warm, but by 10 o'clock we're at 68, mostly clear. We'll drop out of the 60s before the night is done. It should be a pretty good night for stargazing as we're down to the last quarter, but we'll talk about tomorrow's forecast in detail when I return. Back to you.
Thank you, Kirk. State Route 17 in the Kelly Mountain area of Logan County remained shut down Thursday morning following a deadly helicopter crash. Ray Bryant, the chief of operations for the Logan Emergency Ambulance Authority, confirmed 6 people died as the Bell UH-1B model came down. The identities of the victims have not been confirmed, but Bryant says the passengers were not local. He says the helicopter was a Vietnam-era Huey based out of the Logan Airport and was used for tourism flights. Bryant says at this time, it's not confirmed exactly what went wrong during the flight. The helicopter crashed onto State Route 17 along Blair Mountain. Bryant says it was on fire when crews got to the scene and firefighters put the fire out. The Federal Aviation Administration reports that the National Transportation Safety Board will be in charge of the crash investigation. There is a bittersweet celebration in Greenbrier County. White Sulphur Springs is commemorating its revitalization 6 years after a deadly flood went through their community and other parts of southern West Virginia. The National Weather Service called it a 1,000-year flood. Ben Schwartz from our sister station WVVA shares survivors' stories.
Sometimes when you get knocked down, it's easier to get back up than just when you're stumbling a little bit.
The recovery here is more than physical, it's emotional as well. The flash flood's destruction is seared into the minds of those who survived.
Roads were missing, fish were out of the fish hatchery down there, houses on fire and everything, we just couldn't believe it.
6 years after a deadly flood washed away homes and businesses, leaving more than 20 dead across the state. The word rebirth takes on a deeper meaning here.
After the devastation of that, it's really been a multi-year process to kind of revitalize the space, bring in a lot of new energy, and trying to just focus on celebration.
The town has really seen a rebirth. It's been a chance to really to work hard and come together again and rebuild a town.
This past weekend, the Dry Creek Music and Arts Festival is a city-sponsored celebration of just how far this community has come since the 2016 flooding. Along with rededication of the old high school, this 110-year-old building has been transformed into the world's first fully handicap-accessible hotel. It's one of many symbols reminding residents their recovery doesn't mean they've forgotten what was lost. Those memories fuel the desire to move forward and to build a better White Sulphur Springs.
Certainly, it's a chance to remember the flood and what happened, but also to celebrate how far we've come since then.
Ben Schwartz, WTAP News.
The 2016 flooding killed 23 people. Greenbrier County was hit the hardest, with at least 15 deaths confirmed. A man was arrested in Parkersburg for allegedly robbing and assaulting someone. According to a news release from the Parkersburg Police Chief Matthew Board, Thomas Malone Jr. was arrested and charged with first-degree robbery. Officials were called to a house on 10th Street around 1 a.m. Tuesday morning. The victim told officers that he was lying in bed when he was struck over the head with his walking cane. When he went to the front door to get help, he claims he saw Malone Jr. running away. Detectives say they found surveillance video showing Malone Jr. in the area around the time the 911 call was made. Malone admitted the crime to the police during an interview. His bond has not been set yet. A Wood County woman is facing felony animal cruelty charges after authorities say they found 4 dead dogs in a trailer. According to a criminal complaint, Vicki Patterson from Davisville, West Virginia, was arrested on Tuesday. Wood County Sheriff's deputies responded to a trailer on Turtle Lane when they found the 4 dogs inside. Patterson told deputies that she lived in a car beside the trailer and not inside. Deputies say they found large amounts of debris and feces in all parts of the trailer, and all the windows were closed. Deputies also say there appeared to be claw marks on the window where the dogs may have been trying to get out of the trailer. The 4 dogs were found in different locations throughout the trailer. Patterson is charged with 4 counts of animal cruelty. She is being held at the North Central Regional Jail on a $100,000 surety bond. 2 men are arrested by Parkersburg police for allegedly stealing copper. A man named Ronald Gillen is accused of stealing copper from the Parkersburg Art Center. Officers say surveillance video helped them catch him. Gillen later confessed the crime to detectives. Another man named Travis Weinman is accused of stealing copper from air conditioning units at Cornerstone Healthcare. The 3 air conditioning units he allegedly destroyed will cost the company over $15,000 to replace. Police say they caught him today in a narrow gap between the electrical building and parking garage of St. Joseph's, allegedly stealing copper again. You can read more about their charges on WTAP.com. JAG South will be holding a job fair on Friday and Saturday in Mineral Wells. The company wants to hire local workers to help with the increase in demand. Operations manager Roger Conley says this job is a good fit for both men and women. They both add something to the table. The job fair will be both Friday and Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. JAG South is on 145 Conley Drive in Mineral Wells. The Great American Petting Farm is back for its 31st year. Families got to pet and feed a variety of animals at the Piggly Wiggly on Emerson Avenue. The petting farm has llamas, goats, sheep, pigs, and even a wallaby. Petting farm co-owner Denver Boyer says it's important for people to be able to go out and experience these types of agricultural events, especially for those in cities. Some of his favorite moments involve kids who have never had these opportunities before.
My favorite moments is when I get a child and they're scared to come in. They finally work the courage up, they come in and they get to touch an animal for the first time and they just break out into a big smile and they're so happy. That's my favorite experience.
I fed the goats, the llama, and I didn't feed the wallaby. Because I didn't know if you're allowed to, but I fed the goats and the llama.
The petting farm will be at the Plum Street Piggly Wiggly in Parkersburg on Friday from noon to 7. Admission is free with any purchase from the Piggly Wiggly. If you are wanting to feed the animals, you can buy a cup for $3 or 2 for $5. Still ahead, President Biden is proposing a federal gas tax holiday. This would suspend federal gas and diesel fuel taxes for 3 months. How this would help